I wouldn't be a real Bloodborne fan if I didn't want to turn every game I play into a Bloodborne simulator. And what's a better place to start than another one of Miyazaki's masterpieces? Dark Souls 2. Nah, wait, who put that there? Now obviously I could go and take the easy route and install a bunch of mods that would literally make me feel like I'm taking a stroll through London on a normal Monday evening, but I want to see how close I can get to replicating the feel of Bloodborne without any of that, at least for this playthrough. There is one simple rule for this run, that being that I can't roll if I'm locked on, since my grandpa was in a wheelchair, so he could never teach me how to do that. To not exploit this rule, I will also not be rolling against bosses. For those of you that don't know, if you use up all your FB, the iframes quickstep gives you are reduced significantly, so that is something to keep in mind. Meet Joanna Bloodborne. Get it? Like, you know, like Joan Bloodborne. Release me! After living in Yharnam for years, I suddenly wake up in a place far away and unknown to my hunter self, just like how Daryl Dixon saw I got to France in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Having no sympathy for the beasts, I attack everything that crosses my path, though I seem to have forgotten the art of the trip and will have to relearn it during my travels. Unfortunately, no one seems to carry blood vials with them here, but I found an eerie looking liquid in my possession. I mean, I don't know how I got there, but surely it's safe to drink, right? It tastes so horrible that it takes me 3 business days to finish my sip, at least in comparison to simply stabbing myself in the leg, injecting some blood into it, and pretending like it didn't hurt and that it wasn't way worse for my medical bills that I had to pay off in questionable ways. For some reason I decide that it's a great idea to disturb the eternal rest of a dead guy, which wouldn't even be the first time I've done something like that, by the way.
Only an honest death will kill you now.
He finds my attempt at socializing pretty rude and tries to dispose of me, but little does he know that I do not come from these lands and possess the power of a weird squid on my side. After making quick work of Mr. Dead Mold Guy, I arrive at some homeless camp set up nearby. It seems like no one in here knows how to start a fire, so I take it upon myself to restore the firekeeper's purpose and light a bonfire for her to keep. The blindfolded woman tells me that someone has apparently been pouring water all over the fire that has been created, and it is up to me to be the pyrotechnic and rekindle it. She also tells me that there are some firefighters that I need to defeat and bring their souls back to their thrones. After messing around in Firelink and climbing up some trees, I journey to the high wall of Lothric. I encounter a friendly fellow that scorches everything standing in my way. Little does he know that I've killed his electric brother. I proceed further, fight some bad guys, or I at least try to. I have a near-death experience when I got on a lift and get so shocked at how dirty the floor is that I end up jumping off. Miraculously, I managed to get back down safely and use the lift successfully on my second try. I free Greyrat from his cell and have a lovely exchange.
You're no jailer, are you? No, you're from far away.
Correct, I'm from Yharnam. Nice to see that someone finally recognizes that this place is not where I belong. Not all people are like Greyrat though. I meet Leonhard, who refuses to give me his hat. I mean, he must have stolen that thing from another hunter at some point. How rude. I walk up to this blocked wall when suddenly I feel a cold breath behind. I turn around and see a lunatic hamster that has clearly escaped his cage. This must be a pet of the firefighters. They've been too focused on trying to stop people from linking the fire that they forgot all about this poor guy, including feeding him, which I now seem to be experiencing the consequences of. I try to offer him some lettuce, but he's no vegetarian. Well, so you can play that game. Now Vord actually gives us access to a crucial item for this run, that being Pontiff's left eye ring. This ring gives us some semblance of hope, recovering some HP with successive attacks, a little like the Bloodborne rally system, except that this barely has any effect at all. Still though, once I am able to transpose souls, the ring will not leave this build. However, the real win here is that the ring is physical proof that Pontiff is the firefighter that was responsible for the crazy pet hamster. If he's already such a terrible owner, do not let this man become a father. Ah, shit, too late. Anyway, after chopping up the ingredients, I can light a nice bonfire and cook my hamster skewer. The energy I gained from this delicious meal is immediately lost when I walk to the edge of the cliff and see how much I need to get through before I can return home to Yharnam. A wave of homesickness washes over me. Before I have time to fall into a deeper depression, I get taken away and dropped right into a new area. The hunt for the firefighters continues. Walking down the stairs, I watch a civil war break out between the sides that support fire and water worshippers. The people on the side of fire have become quite weak, so I must go down and deal with the crazy water oppressors. After that, I find Yoel, who looks like he would fit in well in Yharnam, so I take him up on his offer to help me. In turn, I promise him that once I save these lands from the firefighters, I'll take him back home with me. I know he'll like it there. Further in, there is one important item that we need to get. The plank shield. This is where the real bloodborne begins. From the corner of my eye, I spot an infected deku tree near some walls. Now obviously I need wood if I want to keep a fire going, so I take on a lumberjack roll and chop the branches off this guy so hard that the floor collapses. Damn it, how will I get the wood back up over to the bonfire now? No matter, I have to finish what I've started and deforestate this place. The tree grows a hand from who even knows where, and this hand is incredibly fucking annoying to actually hit with a tiny range knife. But I don't let that stop me. After fulfilling my woodcutter duties, firefighters shiver in fear knowing that I am coming for them soon. With the transposing kiln in our possession, we can get that ring I mentioned earlier from Vort's soul. One step closer on the quest to get him back home to Yharnam. Speaking of Yharnam, I look at my knife and realize that it's not something that reminds me of home. After looking around for a bit, I find some twin daggers. My teacher Eileen used to have a pair like those.
A hunter must hunt.
I also come across some great clothes that happen to fit me perfectly. I'm really starting to feel like myself again now. However, my excitement is short-lived. I want to show my new trip to Yoel, but to my horror, he's lying on the ground, dead. How could this be? I know he'll like it there.
Oh no, no!
It appears that the firefighters are trying to stop me by attempting to flood this place with water that was clearly sitting in their truck's tank for decades, as it's all green and slimy. Thankfully, my hunter reflexes are too good and I managed to run through it without getting sick. Ah, fuck. In order to get to the first firefighters, I must go against everything the people of this world have taught me and extinguish some fire. Despite this, I cannot allow myself to become like the firefighters. In a moment of rage induced by being forced to act on the firefighters' behalf, I mindlessly attack a poor woman that was just practicing some magic and completely annihilate her. Oh god, what have I done? She was barely even defending herself. I'm a monster. To avenge her death, I swear to kill those that she was training to fight against and continue through a cathedral until I finally make it just in time to interrupt the annual meeting of the deacons. I don't have time to ask them for a summary. All I know is that they must die so that I can make up for my sins. They try to swarm me, but their weak attempts at harming me do basically nothing against my strong will. After not so long, every last one of them is slayed. It is time to confront the first firefighters. Now this is where I discover a new need for therapy. After getting hit with a harder attack, unlike rolling, the dash does not let me get up fast enough to avoid more damage, so I get slapped around like a training dummy. I also noticed that for a firefighter, this guy really likes to use a lot of fire. With some perseverance, I managed to minimize my skill issue and emerge on top, choosing to ignore my shattered self-esteem and the crippling anxiety induced when thinking about how on earth will I beat the upcoming bosses with the agility of a 90-year-old woman. I miss being in my prime. I return to Firelink to place the firefighters' heads on their throne. and make necessary preparations for the still very long journey that awaits me after I get some much needed rest.